So you have a gaming PC, but you want to make money by flipping it. I'm going to show you how you can turn this into some cold hard cash. So in order to sell your PC, you need to prep it for a sale. The first step I like to test my PCs. The reasons I test my PCs: first, you need to know if it works. Second, you need to know how it performs in games so you can provide the information to the customers that want to buy the computer. So when testing my computers / benchmarking my computers, I like to test the most popular games, and for this PC here, I'm going to be testing Fortnite and Rainbow Six Siege. The software I use to track the results during the testing of the PC is MSI Afterburner. It'll be linked down below, and I will also show you guys how to set it up and how to use it properly. And I also use Heaven Benchmark. But for now, let's test this little thing out and see how it performs. Okay, so I'm gonna take you through the process of how to use MSI Afterburner. So first step is to obviously download it. I'm not gonna show you guys how to install it because you should all know how to install something. Okay, but once you get it installed, this is the first thing you see. What you wanna do is click on this little gear icon, the settings. You wanna go to monitoring and then check mark GPU temperature, show in on-screen display so you can see it, GPU usage, scroll down, find your CPU temperature. Also have that as show in on-screen display. Then find your CPU usage. Also check that. Go down here all the way to the bottom, find your RAM usage, check that as well. And then down here you want to find your frame rate average. It'll be black, so you hit the check mark and then you hit show in on screen display. Do that the same for the 1% low and 0.1% low. And then that's all it for the monitoring tab. Next, you want to go into on-screen display and then toggle. I hit F7 just in case it doesn't pop up, so you have something to make it pop up when you're playing. And then for begin recording, I do F8, end recording, F9. This one's key so you can actually find your file. You want to go here, browse. You want to go to your desktop, this PC, open, desktop, open, open. And then you set it up right when it says users, Elijah, and then it says your desktop. That way it pops up on your desktop so you can find your FPS results faster. And then you just hit OK. And that is it for the MSI Afterburner side of things. Now let me show you how it looks in game. Okay, so I'm gonna be testing the same game as I did on that PC. I'm gonna be using Fortnite. Okay, so once you're in Fortnite, these are the settings I like to use. Whatever resolution you're testing on, I'm on my main PC, so I'm at 1440p. Set the FPS to unlimited. Go down here to 3D resolution. I set that to 80%. View distance, I set it to medium. And then everything else is off. And then all of this doesn't really matter. I just have NVIDIA reflex latency on plus boost, show FPS. I'm gonna turn that off because I have MSI Afterburner on. And then everything else should just stay the same. Now you just load into a game. Of course, you gotta thank the bus driver before you drop. So you wanna drop, and if you pay attention to the top left corner, you don't see any frame rate numbers up there. So what you wanna do is you just hit F8, and you see that pops up. It has your average, 1% low and 0.1% low, and that's how you know you're benchmarking. So then you just let that run for however long you want, and then yeah, you just play the game. Keep an eye on that. When you die, you hit F9. Let's see how well I can do real quick for you guys. A little benchmark run. Alright, I died. So you just hit F9 and then you see it go away, and that's how your benchmark run is done. And then once you're done benchmarking and getting wrecked in Fortnite, this is why I said make sure it goes to your desktop, because it pops up right here as a benchmark, and then you pull it up and bam, here's all the stuff that you can use in your ads. So you have your average here, your minimum, your maximum, 1% low and 0.1% low, all right here on your desktop, ready to go. The next step into prepping your PC for a sale is to reset it. Before you reset it, you need to open up that benchmarking thing and snag a picture of it on your phone so you can use it for later. If you forget to do this before you reset it, I feel bad for you. Once you took a picture of all the test results, you wanna go here, shut down your computer. In order to reset it super quick, you're gonna need a USB thumb drive with Windows Boot Manager on it. but you should already have it since you did install Windows on it. If you don't know how to get this, I will show you how to do it in just a minute. So what you want to do, you want to plug it into your PC. Just the front USB ports work just fine. And then you want to turn on your PC, bash the delete key so it pulls up the BIOS. Once you're in the BIOS, you want to find something that says boot menu, which is F8 for me, so just hit F8. Then it pulls up this little screen right here, and you just want to select your USB flash drive. And if you selected the right thing, it should pop up this Windows install screen. So it's basically just a normal install process, but you're going to be wiping the drives completely, and it's way faster than going through Windows settings and resetting it that way. So what you want to do, you want to hit Shift F10 at the same time, and it pulls up this. You want to type disk part, and then hit enter, and then you want to type list disk, and that'll pull up all your drives in your computer. And make sure not to reset the thumb drive. So you want to type select disk, and then select whatever disk. You want to select disk 0 for me because that's my boot SSD. You want to hit clean, then you want to hit convert GBT, enter, and then you're done with disk 0. And then you want to select the other disk. So for me, it's select disk 1, enter, and then hit clean, and then let it clean, and then just hit exit. Exit again, and then bam, come back to this screen. You hit I don't have a product key. You go to the next screen, just hit Windows 10 Home, accept the license. You don't have to read it. And then make sure you select your SSD, not your hard drive, because then it'll just be super slow. And then bam, from there, it's just like a normal install process. But once you're done, your PC is fully reset. Okay, in order to reset your PC and install Windows, you need the Windows 10 Media Creation tool. And you can get that on a little flash drive like this, or a thumb drive, I mean. Thank you to Shane is Epic for sending me this one. You don't need a 128 gigabyte one. You can get like a 32 gigabyte one. I'll have one linked down below. So you just plug it into your PC, and then you search up Windows 10 Media Creation Tool, and it's the first one that pops up here. Click on it, and then just hit download tool now right here, the Windows 10 installation media. And then it goes down to your bottom left, click on it, hit yes. And once it loads up, just hit accept. And then you select create installation media right here, hit next. And then just leave everything the same here. Just hit next again, and just select USB flash drive, hit next. Make sure you select the right drive here, and just hit next again. And then when this is up, you can just unplug your USB, and then you're good to go. Okay, now that you're on the Windows screen and you've fully installed Windows and set it up and everything, there's a few things I like to do. Mainly just two things. So first, you want to install the correct graphics card drivers for your PC so it's up to date when your customer buys it. So since this is an AMD card, I just search up Radeon drivers. And don't worry, when the screen goes black, it just means the internet is finding its own drivers for the graphics card. But you just want to search up Radeon drivers, or if you have an NVIDIA card, you just search up NVIDIA drivers. And then really you just hit download now, and then just follow the process, and bam, your graphics card drivers are up to date. Another thing I like to do is format my hard drive, because when you reset it, it doesn't pop up here. And then when people buy your PC, they're like, it doesn't have the 500 gigabyte hard drive, because only the SSD pops up. I will show you what I mean. So if you go to your file explorer in this PC, only the SSD is popping up, but we do have a 500 gig hard drive in this PC. So let me show you how to fix it. So you go to Windows, right click on it, you go to disk management, and then your hard drive should pop up here, and you just follow this through. And then right click on this, new simple volume, and then just keep hitting next, and then finish, and wait till it loads. Bam, your hard drive is now formatted and ready to go for use. And as you see, it's all right there. You got your SSD, and then you got your hard drive. But now that you reset your PC, you installed your graphics card drivers, you made sure all your drives are up and ready to go so they don't think you're lying. Now you're one step closer to making money. Okay, before you can make money, there's just 3 more steps we need to do. The next step is to clean your PC and get it ready for some nice pictures. But if you just built the PC, then you should have cleaned it before you built it. If you haven't, I'll walk you through a little cleaning process. Everything I use to clean my PCs will be linked down below. The first step into cleaning it is to take off both the side panels. So you take off the tempered glass, and then you take off the rear side panel, exposing all the cables. And then what you want to do is take an air duster if your PC has been used and it's like your first one and you want to sell it. You just want to give a light dust, not a light dusting. You want to make sure if there's dust, you want to get the dust out of there. Second, a repaste of the thermal paste on the CPU and GPU will definitely help in assuring that the customer gets a good product. And that's really it for cleaning, as long as there's not huge chunks of dust everywhere. Like I said, if you just built it, you should have cleaned it before you built it. And then the last thing I like to do, I just like to wipe it down with some alcohol on a little cloth, just to give it a nice little last wipe down. Now that your PC is all clean, well it should be at least, it is ready for some nice pictures. I'll be back though to show you the pictures because I do use my camera to take my pictures. So when taking pictures, you want to try to have a clean background. If you don't have something that looks nice like this, you don't want it to be cluttered. A plain blank white wall works just fine. That's how I used to do it, but I have a nice little background, so that's what I use. Yeah, all you really need to do is get some nice beauty shots of the PC, get some nice angles, and yeah, you're ready to go. So you followed everything up until this point. Now, let's do the last and final step, and then we can make some money. So you want to take your pictures, you want to take the picture that you took of your FPS, and you want to take your description and put it all together. So in my ads, I like to include all the pictures I took, unless some of them were bad, of course. And then the last and final picture, I like to include the whole spec sheet. If you want to know where I get this from, watch my last video that I did on how I organize my PC parts. And then for the title, I just title it Gaming PC. I put the processor in there, I just say i5, and then it's a R9 270X, so I put that in there as well. And then it has 8 gigs of RAM. And that's all I do for the title. And then in the description, I just copy and paste my last descriptions. Feel free to use my descriptions. So yeah, I copy and paste my last description because I use the same description throughout all my ads. I just make a few different changes. So of course, I have the i5 4460, and then I add in the graphics card as well. I say R9 270X, 8 gigs of DDR3. And then I say rest of the specs are in the last photos because no one reads the descriptions. Everyone looks at the photos. No one ever reads the description. And then you want to say how much you want. I say $450 cash. It is a little bit high for this PC, but people always lowball me. So now that you have your ad listed, you can post it on all your other local marketplaces. I post it on this one called KSL, and then I post it on Facebook Marketplace. But now it's the waiting game.
Several days later.
So what games will he be able to play on this thing?
So it's good for games, kind of all games, but not like the newest games. You'll play like Fortnite, Minecraft, Call of Duty, on like if you change some of the settings, stuff like that. Plus a trade-in. So, did you sell your gaming PC with me? If you did, then congrats. If you didn't, then I have one last tip for you. Patience is key. I've always said it, I've said it in the past, and I'll say it again. Patience is key. Like this PC that I just sold yesterday, it was listed for 9 days, and I lowered the price only by 50 bucks, okay? But then, I did go even lower. I took $290 for this, but this guy did do a trade-in. I'm not sure what the system specs are. Basically, it doesn't even work yet, so I don't know. But if you are gonna do a trade-in, make sure you still make profit. I knew I was gonna make profit, so I was like, I don't even care if I'm going this low in price. I'm still making profit and I get another PC. So yeah, the profit for this one was only $122, but I did get a whole other PC that I don't have to go and find parts for, if that makes any sense. If you repeat this process 5 more times at $200 profit, that's an extra $1,000 a month you can be bringing in. So let me know if this video was informative or helped you in any way down below in the comments. Also smash a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you loved it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.